All right. Welcome back to another Elevated Marketing Dot podcast, where we break down complicated digital marketing topics to help your business grow. Today, we are going to talk about the power of email marketing and really like how vital it is to your success as a business. It's definitely one of those that you can't miss. And we've talked about it in several different ways, but we're going to kind of wrap up why it's just vital to have. Uh, so, um, our fun question today is: have you ever mapped out your family tree?
No, and I really want to. I I was looking not that long ago at the, 23andMe.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I wanna give my DNA, but
That's my struggle a little bit.
I know I've got some interesting family background, and so I'd like to map it out, but I have not done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't wanna quite give up my DNA, but I guess it's all in the system, so I shouldn't really care
Yeah.
that much. I don't know that it would really affect anything for me, so I guess that's why I haven't really done it. Like, I love history, though. I do love that.
Yeah. I am just interested to know more about my earlier family, and
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't know.
History's interesting no matter how you do
Yeah.
it. So let's talk about historical, email. It's been around a minute.
Yeah, definitely have. For good
So
reason, though. I mean,
Right, so why do you think it's so vital to your email marketing success? I mean, your overall success.
yeah, I think first and foremost, when it comes to email marketing, it really is just that direct line of communication with your audience. I mean, you can post on social media, you can run ads, and they may not see it, but if you've got their email,
Yeah,
you can directly speak to them. And I think
yeah.
that's probably one of the more important things, in my opinion.
Yes, if you have their email, hopefully, they've actually signed up for it, so you know that is your audience. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Um, I like just talking about like 92% of people use email in their daily lives.
Yeah.
And so that's a large percentage of people. And I think in this world where marketing is very fragmented online and there's a lot of different places that you can catch them. Email is one of those where you can definitely catch them.
Yeah, and when you think about that, I mean, 92% of consumers, that's a huge number, and so that'll allow you to kind of spread yourself out too. I mean, you can reach more than just, a smaller audience that you may have locally, but,
Yeah.
you can reach beyond that.
Well, the algorithms are constantly updating with social media platforms that, you're kind of chasing those algorithms in order to get that reach. But email is not that way. I won't go super techy, but I was listening to a podcast over the weekend about how there's some people that are trying to make actually social media more like email marketing where you could kind of create your own social media platform based on another one which would make it like email marketing where it's more open and you're not like over this big giant company that's making decisions on what you see and don't see. But hey, I want it to be this way. Great. All right, let's do it this way.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and that's email marketing.
Yeah. Well,
So what else do you think about?
yeah, along with that, I mean, your targeted messaging. So, I mean, not only are you reaching out to your audience directly, but you can say whatever you want to say to them. It's your email. And so
Yep,
you can get, your message across pretty directly.
yep, yep. You can make it very personalized where, you can say that lots of little coding you can do that where if you have their name, be like, oh, hey, Susie Joe.
And
Uh,
it's those little things too that help with open and click-through rates in email, the
yep,
personalization.
yep. What about like segmenting audiences?
Yeah, so and also with most email platforms, when you do segment those audiences, you can send multiple campaigns to these different audiences, but have those the messaging in your email, specific to those segments.
Yeah, so that makes it more targeted. You can't do that with social media. You can kind of do that with ads, but they didn't necessarily said, "Hey, I want this information," like email marketing does.
That's a good point. Like with opting in, like they want to receive this information if
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if they opted in, they want it, and then you can target it based on the behavior that they've had before. Uh, you can't do that anywhere else. You could argue with like ads that okay, they came to your website before, let's send them some other stuff, but they did not raise their hand and say, "Yeah, I want to continue to get this information."
Mhm. Yep, very
Um,
good point.
what's another reason that makes it pretty vital?
Yeah, I think the timing of when you can send emails, which obviously you can send at any time, but say specifically you're running a promotion, like you can send that out when that promotion begins, or you can update them if you have an event coming up. I think just overall deciding when to send your message, I think that's important because it'll help get the word out more
Yeah,
efficiently.
I feel like, or I don't feel like, I know, and some email marketers might smack me across the face for this one, but it doesn't take as much extensive planning and production time to get an email out the door as it does with some other types of marketing.
No, I agree 100%. I mean, unless you've got, a certain campaign strategy that you've kind of had laid out, that's going to take some development. But if it's like a quick email here and there, it doesn't take long to produce that.
Something new, breaking news, immediate business needs. I know you would probably coach on don't be like sending out too many emails, but
No, please don't do that.
uh, you know, overall it enhances the communication with your audience of what's going on. I think about, we have a lot of video and a lot of content that's coming out daily on social media. And that's kind of like, right there, speaking of timely, but an email kind of can gather it all together and make it okay, here's everything that happened for the month.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just another form to promote your content that you've worked so hard to produce. So,
Yep. Yep. So speaking about it being, kind of low production level, it doesn't cost a whole lot other than, just the person that's actually working on and getting it out. It's a cost efficiency type way to do marketing.
yeah, and even down to, like, your email platform that you're using, a lot of those will scale with you, so if you're growing your list, then you might have to pay a couple dollars every month, the bigger it gets, but if you're just starting out, you can get started at a very minimal cost, and so I
Yeah.
think the scalability of those platforms is really convenient.
Yep. 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 Makes it easy there. I mean, sometimes it drives traffic, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, if you've got enough information in the email to try to entice somebody to click through to the website, then you can drive traffic. But that doesn't mean that it's not providing impact by just somebody reading the email.
yeah. Well, and I mean, that email, unless they're deleting every email that comes through their inbox, that email they can still go back to, and if they can still refer to that if they don't click the first time.
Yeah. I think indirectly about SEO, you're producing all of this content and you're trying to get it out by organic means. getting it out by email. And if this is already an engaged audience and they go to that and they actually read your content, that's going to indirectly affect whether or not that content ranks.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, got to kind of tie this stuff together, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, speaking of like SEO and, a roundabout way of tracking all of that, email marketing is measurable. So
Yeah.
you're going to have your data in the platform, but that can also be reflected in other platforms such as Google Analytics. And you can track the performance of your email marketing that way and hopefully see some conversions, maybe.
Yep, yep. I think about, the communication thing we were talking about is that if you have longer sales cycles,
Mhm.
email marketing helps just another touch point to be able to stay in touch with them and provide information that might be valuable to them.
I think that's huge when it comes to different links of sales processes, especially when it comes to email marketing, because you can keep consistent and
Yeah.
it doesn't take a lot of time to do that because you can set automations and you can schedule things out and ahead of time kind of let the email marketing do the heavy lifting for you. You just have to
Yep.
put a little time in before.
I mean, honestly, you're spending all this time creating all this content.
Mhm.
Email marketing is just something else you got to add to the plate. And
Yeah.
we have it in other, podcasts and other blog posts, but you got to build those email lists. But it's just a no brainer for me.
Yeah. And I mean, I think too, it's like if you're producing good enough content that people want to subscribe, then it's just, why not? With you've already done the hard work.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other last minute thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, email marketing has been around forever, but don't underestimate it. It's still here for a reason, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this topic. Thanks for listening. We certainly appreciate it. If you got a moment, rate and review the podcast. We'd certainly enjoy it. And we do have a newsletter. If you want to follow along because you want to be a part of our email.
Please.
All right. Take care.